Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the matrix. Subscribe.
The jinn races, many of them look like lizards. Literally. And as a result, if their frequency enters into people and occupies that person, they create that barrier all around, and that's their way of masking themselves. Where they create a frequency and they look human under certain sounds, and under their excitement and stress that veil is distorted at times, and people all of a sudden see something they shouldn't be seeing, because that creature is trying to keep a veil of who they are. So it's a manipulation of energy that Allah is giving in Surah Al-Yasin, that we create a barrier in front of them and behind them.
Do you guys have any idea how big Alpha Draconians are? Do you have any idea how powerful they are? That's a different kind of… Let me tell y'all something about those Dracos. That's a different thing altogether when you're talking about Draconians. That's a whole different monster altogether. And when I say monster, meaning that they're not monsters. I'm saying from the standpoint of, as a species and how they operate, they're really good for like military. So a lot of like ICE, a lot of them are Dracos. Police, a lot of them are Dracos. And do not think for a second that they don't do the checks to see who you are and what you are. That's the reason why the police force has changed dramatically over time. It's because they started lining them up with Dracos. TSA, Dracos. FBI, Dracos. Okay? FBI is heavy on the Dracos. Heavy on the Dracos. Okay? United States military, Dracos. Okay? They started recruiting individuals that had those aspects or higher selves and started training them a specific way because they already knew about the higher selves. Don't think for a second that the military does not know who you are, because they know exactly who you are. So they started recruiting on the police forces and all those different areas, the Dracos, because the Dracos are the ones that they had that has stronger armies. They don't give a shit. There's no reason with the Draco. You can't reason with them. And they hate originals. That's why you saw so many of us getting killed from them, because they don't like us. Now, I'm not saying Dracos are like this, but if they're on those forces, you can best believe you got a problem on your hands. So you guys got to understand what's really happening here. In your mind, you're looking at it from a racist perspective, but you don't realize what kind of being you're actually interacting with. And that being that you're interacting with is your enemy, is your cosmic enemy.
Family, prepare yourselves and cultivate yourselves mentally and spiritually. Because what I want to say right now is, you see women put weave and makeup and extra external things on them because they're not comfortable within themselves. They feel like an outside entity or object will enhance their inner beauty. This is the same thing that people do with religions. It's like a blind man with the blind stick. He can't see, so he uses a physical object to help him validate who he is in his surroundings. Religion, whether you're Hebrew, Muslim, Christian, I don't give a fuck what you is, that is your blind stick. Because you actually are not in tune with your soul through indoctrination by the Caucasians. So you using those as a blind stick to see your way around the world, because you actually blind to yourself. The same reason a woman put weave and makeup in her head is the same reason a man can call himself a Hebrew or Israelite as a Christian. It's because you truly have not developed a relationship with your inner self. So you using this external object to validate who you are, because you have not actually validated who you are your damn self. So now with that being said, these are all things that can cause you to be stuck on this dimension, because these are materialistic things which are, and what I would like to call the sands of time. It has a book life, a shelf life. These are not actual, not even just to say the lies that's in them. Staying off that, the personal origins of these books or whatever. Let's just say these are of the physical realm. You are not of the physical realm. So how can you use something that you are using to validate you? It's the same thing as wearing Jordans. If you don't feel like you look fly without having name brands on, That's the same thing that you need something that's name brand to validate you. It's the same thing as religion. You need something that's name brand to validate you when you were already great. You came out the womb of God butt naked. You don't need materialistic things to validate the God that came out of God. Same thing as religion. When you came out the womb, you didn't have a religion. You picked up a religion to validate what you already were upon birth. That's crazy.
The nerve on these people to think that they can do it again. The usual suspects are really trying to push this new virus. Now, for anyone who's maybe on the fence, let me give you 5 reasons why you should push back. 1. The same liars that ran the previous pandemic is running this one. The fake news media, Deborah Birx, the WHO, the CDC, and a bunch of fake influencers, all sponsored by the big pharma crime syndicate. 2. They are using the PCR test, again, to see if you have it. The PCR test is a scam. All they have to do is increase the amplification cycle and you'll test positive even if you have nothing. They want more cases to advertise more fear to get their surveillance state and stab us with their vaccines. 3. Jake, the actor they hired to make that fear-mongering video, was sponsored by the same company that owns the cruise line, and they happen to be heavily invested in pharmaceuticals. What a coincidence. You can even find this clown promoting boosters during COVID.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls get vaccinated. Gorgeous vaccinated girls get boosted. Gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again.
4. Ask yourself this. Have you ever met someone who regrets not taking the shot? 5. Let's remember who benefited from the COVID scam. It's not us. It's big pharma. It's big tech. It's big government. They consolidated power at the top and enslaved people at the bottom, directly in line with the 2030 agenda. They're testing us and seeing how much they can get away with, but this time we will give them nothing.
Okay, hold on a second. 2020, US new quarter was a bat. We know what happened in 2020 in regards to bats. That's the official story anyway. Do you know what the 2026 quarter is? My face is in front of it. I'll move in a second. Take a guess. It's a freaking ship, dude. It's a ship. And do you know how many times every 6 years, go back and look at Ebola, SARS, H1N1, look at the dates that those are occurring. There's a pattern emerging here, dude. And if you look at the front of The Economist, 2026, you got needles all over it, you got war, you got a Freemasonic compass here if you mirror this. I think they're hiding in plain sight what's going on. And actually, there is a ship right there as well. So I can't say I have all the answers for all this stuff, but I do know that clearly there's a concerted plan and effort to keep us in a lowered state of consciousness with all the crazy chemicals in the food, air, and water supply, like fluoride, which is designed to, or at least does, calcify our pineal gland. So if you think it's important to detox during this pinnacle moment in human history, right now Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, the chocolate powder, which is super detoxifying and delicious. And if you combine that with the hot water purified shilajit, then you're getting some of the most potent superfoods in the natural world. Comment the word free below and check your DMs for details.
No, or it was a fake post. You used AI, all this stuff because they just scared to face themselves. Have you ever sung an AI? Sung an AI? Like. No, but I have a new Ray Eye system coming out because eventually I'm going to retire in the next couple of years. But my Ray Bots and the Ray Eye will continue to lead Ray J on with the same shit. You'll just hear my voice. Yeah.
That's interesting. Ray Bot? AI? So that AI is going to keep his legacy going? It's kind of like that's what they're already doing, right? So he just admitted that he has an AI version of himself that's going to keep singing and it's going to keep coming out with music and it's going to keep going. Yeah. I mean, Black Eyed Peas, they've talked about that they used, AI back in the early 2000s. And I'm pretty sure that Britney Spears songs were mostly AI because Britney didn't even sing her own songs towards the end. Other people came in and sang them for her, or they used AI. So I love that this is coming out to surface. I love that musicians are now exposing the fact that they do have AI and the AI is the one that's keeping the show going. And that's what I think Project Rose is, like I've talked to you guys about. And that's what all these celebrities are doing. That's why everything looks AI, because the celebrities aren't even really around anymore. All they did was sell their likeness to the metaverse, to the internetverse, and that's what they're using to keep their legacy going. That's why they are literally everywhere at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. They are everywhere at once because they're all just AI.
This is not 2020. We will not fall for another lockdown. Not this time. I don't want to say this, but I'ma say it. We was dumb 6 years ago. 6 years later, we're not falling for this. Not at all. I sit back and say, damn, 6 years ago, they really gave us a curfew, quarantine. They really put us on punishment. You know, when a child do something bad and the parents say, take your ass in the house. That's what they did to us. But not this time. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. Anytime you hear these people speaking about a virus on the ship, you know what they mean? It's not what they say. They can't be trusted. These bodies we have is the ship. Your spirit is the water. So when they speak about a virus on the ship, they're trying to tell you your spirit is sick. So many people get lost because they don't understand life is a stage. You must find your character. Yes, we all have a character or a role in the Matrix. So many people say, I want to lead a Matrix. I want to lead a Matrix. And do what? Everywhere you go is the Matrix. It's not about leaving it. It's about understanding what the fuck it is. Once you understand how the Matrix operate, you can change certain things. Let's go a little deeper about this. Fear, negativity, drugs, stress, fear. Every time you turn the news on, all you hear about is crisis. It got so deep, they started paying crisis actors to keep us in front of the TV. So when they give us their little programs, we sit back and watch it like, you ever seen someone watch TV and they don't blink? They just do this. You know how they say your eyes are the windows to your soul? True story. So when you watch this BS, guess what's taking place? They're attacking your soul. We sit back and say, damn, another layoff, can't pay rent, our future is going, where next? Why is this happening? Another lockdown, everything's falling apart. We sit back and watch all of this shit. And you know what takes place? We have negative thoughts. And these thoughts go out there to the universe. Remember, your body is the ship. The water is your spirit. So every time you watch these negative reports, your vibration get lower and lower. And it starts creating ripples in your physical body. Like I said, these people spend billions of dollars every year because they understand they can't make nothing manifest in its reality. They need us to believe in their bullshit. And when we believe in it, guess what happens? We manifest their reality for them.
When you tell people to stop going to work, the first thing they say is, who's gonna pay my bills? How can we survive? Like, how is anything gonna be possible? It's really fucking simple. We barter with the communities. Instead of using money, we trade skills, goods, time. Everyone contributes and everyone benefits. It's not like these corporations that you work for, like warehouses or even regular jobs where you work and you don't really benefit because the CEO or the top chairman of the company gets all the profits from it. No, we all benefit as a community. Hello, people. When you tell people we have to unite, they still care about stupid ass politics. They still care about their skin color or who's this or who's that. They still care about religion when all of this shit was made up, and people still fail to realize that the reptilians are in control of everything on this planet. They control the whole fucking planet. All these wars are orchestrated. Everything is a lie. Everything is programming. Everything is a distraction. This is what we have to do, people. We literally have to come together, stop using money, and create communities, care about each other, love each other, be within each other. There's people who live next to each other that don't even talk. Bro, we need to change all of this. If we want a world full of love, no violence, no hatred, no corruption, then we all have to come together. It's the only way things change. As long as we stay divided, as long as we hate each other, as long as it's okay to disagree, but once you start acting crazy about disagreements or becoming hostile, that's where things go wrong. We have all the power, people. We all share one common enemy, and that's the people, which is not really people at all, but these beings at the top. It's time to awaken, and it's time to help the future, help the kids that are growing up right now, and really take our reality and completely rebuild it.
Now in this video, Trump talks about the advancement from 5G to 6G. Listen closely to what he says.
So we're into 6G now. I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. And now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin?
To see deeply into somebody's skin. Trump is not lying. But let's break this down because here's where it gets interesting. Now, all these chemtrails that we see in the skies, you know, the chemtrails that they outright just show us, that they make, these chemtrails are filled with conductive metals like barium, aluminum, strontium, and graphene. When you breathe these into your body, these metals are now in your bloodstream. They are in you. Because this air is conductive, they have the ability to heat up the atmosphere. They have the ability to create extreme weather because it's all directed energy. And because this air is conductive and it is tuned to your DNA, they can manipulate you. I don't think that's what people understand. This is a spiritual warfare. They're attacking your soul. Now I need you to realize that you are in their energy grid system. The chemtrails are a part of their energy grid system. Their conductive metals that are in the air responds to the towers. And that same ionized air is in you, which means they now have power to your nervous system. They have the power to alter with your genetic life code, your DNA. These AI towers will literally be able to see you as a bioelectric silhouette because you are in their energy grid system. Does that make sense? These AI towers will have the ability to pinpoint your ass. Now enough of the fear. How do you prevent this? Detox. And I mean detox from everything they have. Fruits, veggies, eat clean. Everything you consume, make it clean. You don't want to be their electric target. You want to be a clean temple. Fast. Exercise, sweat, get in the sun. The sun will literally heat up and kill all the parasites in your body. The sun will eat anything synthetic in your body. Ground yourself, reduce the EMF charges. But real quick, back to what Trump said. Does it give you a deeper view into somebody's skin? Yes, he's not lying. In early 2026, MWC in Barcelona, this is an event center for like AI, satellites, and bullshit. They majorly announced the rollout of 6G. It's coming. Now you see it. 6G's on rollout. Don't stress it. Just clear the temple within. That's it. Peace and love always.
Are you familiar with the antivirus as your mother? They told us it was biological warfare, a virus. Plague, a silent weapon for a quiet war, secretly negotiating a planned Armageddon. Negotiating with whom? I think you know.
Are you coming to the tree? Are they strung up a man? They say we were free. Strange things that happen to you, stranger would it be? We met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? Death and call, our forest love to feel. Strange things that happen.
Nah, this one right here got the internet freaking the fuck out right now. Because the Euphrates River, one of the most famous rivers in human history, is drying up fast. This ain't just any river, y'all. This the same river that's tied to ancient civilizations. We talking biblical stories, prophecy. Now you got scientists blaming things like a drought or climate change or water overuse. But you got people online already like, nah, we ain't trying to hear that. It's deeper than that. Because in the book of Revelations, there's literally a verse talking about the Euphrates River drying up. And when that happens, that brings the end of times, the end of time events. And with that and all the other stuff going on, it said you can literally see satellite images of this river shrinking, the water going bye-bye. Now, me personally, I'm not saying this is the end of the world or nothing. What I am saying is, it's crazy seeing ancient biblical locations making major headlines again. Like I said, with everything that's going on, make it even crazier. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments.
Have you ever used orphans to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.
Have you ever used babies of mothers in prison to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.
Have you ever used individuals under colonial rule to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.
Did you do so in the Belgian Congo?
Yes.
Have you ever expressed that it's better to perform experiments on those less likely to be able to contribute to society?
I don't remember specifically, but it's possible. And again, I repeat that in the 1960s, that was more or less common practice. I've since changed my mind, but that was a long time ago.
Why, it's Caleb Mandrake. He was a skull the day he was born.
Who's Frank?
Who's 6 foot tall bunny rabbit? We're just gonna kill.
If I could just get you to see them mountains as tree stumps, if you can really see that, the veil is broken, bro. Because from that point, you see everything. You see everything. You really get to looking at the mountain, you be like, oh shit. That shit look like a tree that got cut down. And then you start scanning back, looking at the whole mountain range, you be like, oh fuck, that's the tree they cut right there. That's disguised as mountains. Boy, that shit stand out clear as day when you notice that's the tree you're looking at. And then think about how tall the tree was. You're like, oh shit, hold on now. I'm looking for evidence about all this shit Rashad Jamal be talking about how we fell in frequency and this was our planet and we was giants and we was blue, red, and green and we did the blah, 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 blah. Look at this big ass tree.
Who's this? Huh? Who is this guy right here and what is going on with his eye? People want to know. This is what people are saying. I think it was a problem with the lighting or something, but look at his eye. Why does it turn black and then it goes back to normal? Something to think about. Shh, shut up! I don't know who this guy is, but all I can remember is that back then, he was in a accident, remember? Shh, shut up! But I'm sitting here trying to wonder, why did his eye get like that? People are saying this. Somebody sent me this and I said, bro, stop playing around. This is not real. Something wrong with the lighting. Maybe this is AI. Come on now. Look at his eye. That's all I gotta say. There's nothing else for me to say but look at his eye, bro. It's black. Then it turned back to white. Then it turned normal. Something's going on with Kevin Hart, bro. Nah, I'm just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Nothing's going on with Kevin Hart. He's good to go. Maybe there was a problem with the lighting, special effects. Maybe somebody used this AI or something. Something's going on here, but Kevin Hart is good. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this one because something's up. I'm out.
There's a group called the Illuminati. Who are the Illuminati? Make a long story short, they're the 13 families that control the resources and the entire planet. And they have their ancestry goes all the way back to Sumerian times. And where then they changed into the Babylonians, they became the Khazars. They entered into Europe where they merged with the Celtic remnants or the Atlantean refugees, which became the Merovingians. And then that, over the centuries, broke into 13 distinct families that controlled Europe at the time and then now the entire planet. And are there names for these families? Yes, you know, you have the Windsors, the Rothschilds, the Romanovs, the Sinclairs. There's a very wide range of Illuminati, but even more so is the range underneath the 13, which is the Committee of 300, which are 300 families that work very closely in association with the Illuminati to accomplish the goals. You mentioned that in your book, that another way of describing the Illuminati is the New World Order.